Hello everyone, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I am Jen and I'm doing something a little bit different from my last few builds that I've done. This one is a cute little, I wouldn't necessarily call it starter house. It's pretty expensive, but it is in the base game and it is in like the cheapest neighborhood. So it's a sort of semi-cheap family home. It does have enough space for about 4 Sims in it, so that's pretty good, but the main focus is the greenhouse and gardening area, and you'll see that take shape in just a moment here. Before we get too deep into the video though, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are enjoying this video or if you are enjoying my channel. We are at around 456 subscribers while I'm making this video. So we are so close to 500. It's amazing how close to 500 we are. So if you could just hit that like and subscribe, I would very much appreciate it. Anyways, on to the build. I kept sort of the main idea of the original house that was here because very slowly over time I have been creating a save file with various builds that I've been doing, and this is the third one in this neighborhood. I redid Streamlit Single like several times, and there are several versions of it that I really like, but I would say my most favorite is the pink and green one. And I can link to those speed builds down below, but I also gave the BFFs a duplex. I forget their names. It's Liberty and Summer and Travis? I don't remember, but Liberty and Travis, I think are their names, are like the so-called owners of the duplex, and they live inside A and Summer lives inside B. At the time, I wanted Summer to be the owner and her parents to like actually be the owners, but in-game it would be Summer who owned it. But I put her on the wrong side of the duplex. You can't choose where the owner lives in For Rent. The owner always has to live in apartment number 1, and I didn't know that at the time that I built it. So it ended up being Travis and Liberty who kind of owned the duplex, and Summer is renting from them. And I split them up that way. I don't remember exactly why. I think because in my head Summer came from a wealthy family and her family is the owner, so she gets her own apartment. Well, I actually went in and played with them a little bit more, and I was looking around the duplex to see if there's anything I wanted to add from any new kits or anything, and I kind of gave them a little bit of makeovers, and I realized that I split it up perfectly because Travis and Liberty are compatible and they get along well, whereas neither one of them are compatible with or get along well with Summer. So I split that household up perfectly and didn't even realize it. And then of course my character, my original character that I made, my sort of mascot sim of my channel if you will, Grace, she lives in the pink and green Streamlit Single house, and I don't really have much of a family in mind for this one yet. I'm thinking a couple of parents and maybe a couple of little boys. That's kind of what was in my mind, but I could see it working well for a couple of little girls as well. I just don't know yet. I haven't figured out the family for this, but whatever it is gonna be, they are going to love the outdoors. They're going to love all things gardening and eco-friendly and all that kind of stuff because the house itself has a story. The house has a giant, well, giant for this size neighborhood and this size house, greenhouse on the side, plus plenty of outdoor gardening spots in the backyard as well. It's very garden friendly. Not that the inside was left behind. I made the inside very comfortable as well. I just made the outside very heavily focused on gardening and growing plants and all that kind of stuff. Also, while I have your attention, I should mention that I'm probably talking a little bit slower again. I'm super sorry. I hate to bring it up again. The dry mouth is still an issue and it makes it hard to enunciate, and so I have to go slower so I'm not smushing, smashing, slurring words together. But also I'm just simply exhausted. We've been having a lot of tummy issues in the house recently, and so not a lot of sleep has been happening lately, and the combination of those two things together has just wreaked havoc on my ability to speak. So you're more than welcome to speed the video up. YouTube has several ways in which you can do this. I encourage it. Another thing I should probably mention really quick before I forget again is this is a limited pack speed build. The version of this that is currently up on the gallery, like a lot of my other builds, they're almost always limited pack. There'll be a few here and there that are not, of my speed builds that I put on YouTube that are not limited pack. Most of them are limited packs, and this one is a base game and then 2 kit, Garden Haven or Greenhouse Haven, I think it's Greenhouse Haven, and Blooming Rooms, because those are both obviously plant and greenhouse kits, and I wanted to have lots and lots of plants everywhere in this house. Pretty much every room I think has a plant in it, if not every room, so that was kind of the idea. This is like the plant house, so that's why I used those 2 kits. But the base game is free, and each of those kits is only $5, so I think that's pretty good, right? I mean, I feel like it is. Anyways, I didn't have a lot of choices in furniture because I stuck with a base game, and so it did kind of look a little kind of, what would you call it, boring? Boring is what I would call it initially, until I really started to find my groove in the decorating, and then I really spruced it up a lot. So this first part of decorating is really blah and boring, and it's not very fun or colorful. But as I get in and I start to figure out what I'm doing and how I want to do it, then it gets more fun. Also, it took me forever to settle on a color scheme for this house. I kept wanting to do green because, you know, plants and gardening and all that. So I really wanted to do green. But I didn't want to do red and green because that's, you know, Christmas. And I didn't want to do pink and green because that's Streamlit Single across the street. So I wasn't really sure what to do, and it took me a really long time. Also, the entire time I was trying to figure out a color scheme, I completely forgot and did not even notice the red door on the screen. The entire time I picked that red door way back at the beginning of the video, and with the idea that it would tie into the decorating somehow, and then I just completely blocked it out. I did not notice it until I changed the curtains red, which you'll see in a few minutes here. Once I changed the curtains red, I'm like, oh yeah, the front door is red. Let's start there and go from that point on with the decorating. But yeah, it was kind of painful. I even cut a bunch out because I just could not figure out what color scheme to go with. Also, I'm really sorry if you can hear the dryer now running in the background, probably for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. I turned it back on to get all the clothes dry. I didn't realize it was gonna be quite so loud. Sorry about that. But anyways, what was I saying before? Oh, color scheme. I think I was talking about the decorating of this place. I think it's gotta be coming up soon. At this point, I think I'm still struggling, though, to be honest with you. I'm just kind of putting in generic white or light blue or whatever furniture and trying to add a green in where I can, where it makes sense, where it looks good. But it's gotta be coming up right shortly here. I did start doing the pink. I forgot about that. I did start doing the pink, and then I realized, no, wait a minute. I can't do pink. Streamlit single is green and pink. No. We have to start over. Let's choose something else. I still didn't notice the red door at this point, though. Isn't that funny? I did not notice the red door until I changed those curtains to red. That's when I'm like, red door, red curtains, let's go with red here. I don't honestly remember what I made the couch and stuff, though. I think the couch was like it turns out to be a gray or blue color or something, and then all of the other furniture is just a basic white. But I think I dressed up that basic white pretty well with lots of plants and books and just all sorts of stuff. Rugs. I put blue rugs throughout this area for some reason. I'm not 100% sure why. Okay, I went with like a cream color, like a beige, like a boring beige, but it matches. So I didn't really care. And it wasn't white like the tables and stuff, so I thought it was a pretty good compromise. Again, I tried to add lots of plants everywhere where I could add them because plant house, that's the whole name of this house is, family gardening plant house place. You know what would be cool to have out in the front yard is a little like it would be a yard sale. It would be run like a yard sale, but it would be like a little fresh produce stand. That'd be cool to have out in the front yard of this house too. I think that's something that if you have one of those tables, you should do that with this house. If you've made it this far into the video, let me know, did you notice the change in editing style on this particular speed build? If you did, or if you think you did, let me know down in the comments what you think I did slightly different. It's not major, and it's not hugely noticeable, but I think it's possible that if you've seen enough of my speed builds, you might notice the difference. And let me know what that difference is. So I had no idea what to use for bookends. I would love if the Sims team gave us more unattached bookends that we could use for these books so that we could mix and match a bunch of different things. But being that it's a garden related house and it's all things, nature and garden and all that, I thought, why not use 2 of the gnomes? That would be adorable and perfect. And hey, you know what? I'm not very good at cluttering usually, and with it being limited packs, I thought, oh god, this house is gonna be terrible on the clutter. People are gonna find it so boring and unadorned. But look around. I think I managed to do a pretty good job on the clutter this time. Is it perfect? Is it what people are looking for? Absolutely not. But I did better this time, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I know it's such a weird thing to be proud of, but yeah. Also, there are a few other little details that I think I missed that could have been better, like maybe a table or 2 in the hallway, maybe another plant or 2 in the hallway. The hallway is pretty empty and boring. And I just, with using base game only, I just did not know how to fill it up. If I do this, I am doing this for the save file, because I've already put it in the save file. So before, I have the save file available to everybody, I will go through and I will add like thermostats from Seasons and just like little decorative pieces here and there from other kits and other packs and everything. Because my save file is gonna be like a mixed all or most packs save file, I'm not gonna limit the packs or anything. I have been going through the lots and adding things in as we've added new expansion packs and new kits and new other packs and stuff, and I will do that with this one. And I think I might put laundry at the end of the hallway potentially, and maybe a clothesline outside or something. I'm not 100% sure yet. I haven't fully decided, but it'll be something along those lines, I think. As you can see, I've been trying to keep the kids' room very neutral. Like I said, in my mind, I'm thinking maybe a couple of boys, but because it's a neutral kids' room, I think a couple of girls could work here just fine as well. And I think it's cute either way. Honestly, I kept it a very neutral kids' room, kind of nature, blue-green, that kind of style and vibe, so it works. There wasn't a lot that I could add as far as clutter or even wall decor or anything. A lot of the things that I wanted to add, I started to realize are actually in mostly expansion packs, I think. Maybe a couple of game packs or stuff packs probably, but mostly expansion packs like Growing Together, and I don't even remember the names of all of them anymore, but they're there somewhere. I know they are. So I did the best that I could. And then I remembered, wait a minute, this is a garden house. I want to add plants to every room. So I filled up the empty spaces with plants and we were all good. I tried, okay? I really did. But when you're limited mostly to base game, it's really hard. I think the only room where I would say I kind of failed a little bit at making it match up with the rest of the house is the parents' room. I think I could have done better with the plants and stuff in the parents' room, but it is a really dark room for some reason, so maybe I did okay despite that. I don't know. It's such a big room. I feel like we could have done more with the plants in here for sure. And I just did not take advantage of it like I should have. But I tried, so. Also, again, base games are not a lot of clutter items, so I should have filled it up even more with plants in that case. I failed on so many levels in that room, but that's okay. It's fine. It's cute anyways, just the way it is. And then we move outside and finally to the greenhouse area and the backyard. I don't know why I forgot the backyard there for a second, and the backyard. Another thing that would be cool to add to this house is like the flower arranging table. If you have that, that would be a thing that would work here. I was thinking more along the lines of growing food, but this could most definitely be a flower growing greenhouse, and the family can sell their flower arrangements that they make. That would work too. I just thought of that just now as I was saying that. As I was saying, what would look good here is the flower arranging table, because you could replace one of those other two tables with the flower arranging table. There's plenty of room in those spots. Sorry. I'm delirious with exhaustion at this point. You'll have to forgive me. But yeah, I think it works either way. You don't have to have the flower arranging table. It can most definitely be a food growing house. And if you have the option, you can make it a simple living house as well, and they have to grow all their own food. That would be really interesting to try out in an in-town lot where they grow all their own food. Yeah, I think that's something that I should try out one of these times. So you would think in a house that's centered around gardening and stuff, I would do a lot more landscaping. Here is my argument. I was thinking this is a food growing house, not a flower growing house, like I said a minute ago. So I was thinking, yeah, they like plants, they like nature, they like flowers, but they have that big, naturey empty spot in the corner right next to them. They have the community garden kind of kitty corner behind them for the neighborhood. It's a very tree filled neighborhood, or at least it will be when I'm done with it. So they don't really need a ton of excess landscaping. I'd rather use more room for growing plants and stuff. Couple of trees, some shrubs, and it looks perfect. In my opinion, this is perfect just the way it is. So let's get into the walkthrough now. As we get the camera adjusted here and then look around the front yard, you can see those two trees again, the shrubs. There are a couple of red flower planter boxes to match the red front door. I thought that was adorable. Going inside, you enter into the main room, which is the living room, dining room, and kitchen, plus a little entryway and a hallway, basically all in one big spot. Lots of plants out here in this area. I definitely went heavy in the plants in this area, but you know what? I still think it could use more. I really do. If I had more packs available to me, I would have added more plants. There are a few more from other packs that I thought would have worked perfectly here. So you go down the hall, and then you have another little hallway that leads to the bedrooms, the primary or parents or main bedroom, whatever you want to call it. Cozy, but still nice. Then you have the bathroom, very small, cozy bathroom, but perfectly functional. Then you have this very cute sort of teal, cyan, I don't know what you'd call that. This blue and gray and green colored kids room, nice and cozy again. It looks very inviting to me. I'd crawl in that bed and fall asleep right now if I could. And then the greenhouse for growing lots and lots of plants. As you can see, the top is all greenhouse top as well, and it's plenty big enough in the center for a couple of trees even. You've got the bench there that can be replaced with the flower arranging bench if you want. You've got a couple of different choices for planters there. And then you go out to the back deck. You can grill, you can eat outside. There is a little bit of space here for the kids to play as well in the grass, but it's mostly taken up by planter boxes, some tree planters over there, a little bit of flower landscaping in the back, and then the square, like what I think is the smaller food plant boxes there. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!